Hello everyone, welcome back to XerStudios live stream on Mindplay. Today we're going to be working on the introduction cutscene, and let's get started. So I already have some voice clips that I already have for the voice acting. I'm going to edit these, and then I'm going to put them in the scene with the character animations that I'm going to do soon for the facial animations and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get started. So I already have them open up.
I can't seem to remember anything up until now.
So yeah, I need some editing. Most of these do. Let's see. Alright. What I have to do is I'm gonna put compressor on this. And the settings are already set because I've already done this before. Alright. Then we use the limiter. It should be here somewhere. There it is. These are the settings that I'm going to put in. It saves by default after you change them. From the equalization. I think that's all set. We don't need to change that. And then normalize last. I think that makes it too loud, so I'm just going to change the bass and treble. And just change the volume instead. Alright.
I can't seem to remember anything up until now.
So now it's nice and loud. But the thing is that there's like background sounds or noise that we don't want. So I'm going to, especially this part, which is me clicking the mouse to end the clip. So I'm going to remove that very quick. And including this entire part that we don't need. We just need the middle part.
I can't seem to remember anything up until now.
And there it goes. It's just fine. There's no background noise. So that's all we need to do for that one. I have about 6 clips that we need to edit. I already have 2 done now. I just have a couple more to go. Alright, let's get started with the other one. I think this is it.
Huh? Where am I?
Alright, so I'm just going to remove the background noise first. And plus, in the game, it's going to be reverb effects, so it's going to sound a lot better than this. Let's see, compressor. Alright, okay. So, alright, limiter. Here it is. Okay. Alright. Then that's double and just click OK. There we go. Let's see.
Huh? Where am I?
Alright. Got that done. Make sure there's no duplicates opened up. Alright. This is a sound effect for when the character gets up. Because he wakes up in the pretty much dream that he's having. Alright. Let's treble. Click apply. So I just did that first. Doesn't really need to be in order. Well, actually I think it does, but I think I'm doing it right. Limiter. Okay, there we go. Now, I don't got most of it done. Just need to fix the background noise. Alright, click. Nope. It's not there. Alright, good. Alright. Now I got a couple more clips to go.
What's going on here?
Alright. Alright, click. I'm gonna edit this part. I think compressor goes first. Alright. Okay. Use the limiter effect. And then after that, we should just do bass treble and click apply.
What's going on here?
I'm going to remove this part. Pretty much all of the parts that are empty are pretty much what I removed. Then we start at the very beginning again.
What's going on here?
That's good. Alright.
Just something isn't right here. It just doesn't make sense.
Alright. Let's edit this now. Compressor. Limiter. Just apply it. Then cut out the background sounds. Or noise, if I don't need. Then we start at the very beginning again.
Just something isn't right here. It just doesn't make sense.
Alright, there we go. We got that part done. Just a couple more to go. I think this might be the last one actually, but I need to do. Then we can start making the introduction scene. Alright. Compressor is already applied to, so we just use the limiter. And Syn's already put in, so we don't need to change that. Click apply, remove the background noise, that's empty. And then after that,
Let's see what this place has in store for us.
there we go, we got that. And I'm going to see if there's any more to do. Yeah, this is what I'd done before the stream.
Huh? Where am I?
That was the very first clip that we did, or voice act. And now, we got all the clips done. Just need to create the scene. And it's going to be on Begin Networking, because after the game object is disabled, or, you know, after the networking setup is done, you're automatically transition with the camera, and the camera would aim down at the player. So the entire ground's going to be like empty in an abyss, and then everything's just going to make itself into a forest. And we're going to use visual effects to do that. I think there might be a way to convert terrain from Unity to a 3D model. We could probably try doing that, or we might have to recreate it somewhere else, like in Blender or something like that. But yeah, so I'm just going to make a new game object, or an empty game object. Just name it networking done. Alright, there we go. Now this would activate after the networking script is, you know, all verified and checked up. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to see where it's at. I think it's, we have to see where it's activated first. It might be here somewhere. Begin that, yeah, begin game maybe. Just need to see what these buttons lead to. This one leads to network close. I think what we would do is we would go to network close. For the network close, we'd start up networking done, so that it can trigger an animation using the animator for the camera, so that it can aim a different direction. Alright, so I'm just going to use Flippolino script that I made. Which basically disables one and activates the other, and you can reverse it. It's pretty useful, so yeah, we could just do that if we wanted to, because that's what we need activated. But I need to see if that's going to work or not. Yeah, because the last goes first. Alright, so that would work. So now networking done would be enable, and we could do a check on that. Soon enough. I just need to see. So this activates when it's closed. There. Let's see what it does. And I need to make sure that my audio isn't echoing this time, because last stream, I noticed after the stream was done, the audio was echoed for some reason. So maybe one of you guys can tell me if it's happening or not, because I have my actual YouTube stream muted, like in the main player, so that I could see what's going on and stuff, see if it's working.
Do a connection test.
So I'm just going to see really quick. Main player, so that I can see what's going on and stuff, see if it's working. Alright.
Do a connection test.
Yeah, I think it's working just fine. Alright, let's start. So, I think one of these we just need to networking close. Yep. And now this is activated. That fades away. So networking done is activated. And what I want to do is I want to actually disable both of these, because both of these are linked very similarly. So I would just drag this over here, except I have to unpause, so because it won't save if I were to do that. Go to Flippolino and then put this over here. do the same for the one underneath it. Force close. This happens when an error occurs. So now we just save our changes. So now we got that part done. And these are pretty much all linked. So just need to see if all of the buttons lead to the same thing, because that's what it's supposed to do. Alright. Try to scan. See if the other part works. So I'm just going to click a different button that leads out. Very similar way.
The networking feature is currently enabled. Would you like to do a connection test?
And then this is where the camera is going to transition, so we can make that right now. Show you this, and the way it would work is it would just aim down. Something would be underneath the camera, but you won't be able to see that yet. And if networking is disabled in the settings, then this entire scene would still show up, but the networking dialog won't open. It would just go straight to networking done, because we don't need it anymore. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to animation. And this already has an animation on it, but we can just use the animator to... Well, actually I have to make a new animator because it's going to conflict with the one in the main menu screen. Plus, it's not even activated because I wasn't using it. So now we're going to use it, but we're going to disable the animation first in the animator. Alright, so now we're going to not do this or save it in the main menu. We're going to save this in gameplay elements and connection, because it's the connection scene. And then everything done. Again, doesn't really matter what it's called, just so it makes sense. Alright, now I'm going to simply see where the positions are at, transform, rotation, that's what we need. And now I'm going to simply rotate it as it's recording. And in the game, it should show an element. So right now the camera's aiming down, and you can't really notice the changes because it's aiming at the same particle effects, but when it moves you can see a change. So we can actually add an object underneath it just so that we can make sure that it's transitioning right. But I'm going to use a pink texture because it's not rendered with the right shader, so we can see what it is, because since this area is too dark. Alright, so I have to click on it, drag it right here to where we need it to be looking at. Alright, that's fine. So now I'm going to go back to animator, and I need to make sure that it's set to the right position. Alright, except it's going a little too fast. I want it to be a little bit slower, so I'm going to set this to 10 samples instead of 60, and that's pretty slow enough. I think I should make it more down more, but this is just a testing cube. And then since I have loop automatically set enabled when I create the animation, I need to disable that. In gameplay elements, I can find that connection, and then let's see, begin. Yep, loop time, nope, and there we go, we fixed it. So now in the animator, we're going to make it from going to begin, and we're actually not going to have it go to this. But you can't really edit this yellow part, which is the default part. So we're going to set this to none, begin none, and then we're going to set this to begin, because that's what we need. And now I'm going to just make a transition to here, set the loop time off. Well, yeah, we would. So underneath here, so that looks just fine. And we're going to need to create a new boolean. I'm just going to name it begin. And now I'm going to simply add it to the transitions here to what we need it. Conditions, yep. Begin, true. Then we play begin. Yep. There we go. It's all correct. So now I'm going to make it so that networking done uses one of the start animation scripts, and the animation slot name is going to be begin. TF. It's going to be set to true. Slot animation. That would be where the camera goes in. All right. On and off. We're not going to have that set. Gonna save the scene again. Then after that, it's gonna get out of game. Well, it's gonna go back to the game player. It compiles and then mute the audio because you don't really need to hear the audio. Now, I'm going to see how the camera transitions. So it should not transition when I click play yet until I, disable or get out of the networking dialog. Then it should, networking done should automatically transition the camera using the animator. Alright, let's see what it does. Oh, okay. So now I click not now or whatever gets out of here. And there we go. And then that disappears. Maybe we can have it so that it freezes at first, but we can use has time for that. Just so that you can see the actual visual effect go away before it transitions. So we're just going to have an exit time of some sort. Even though this is already ended, but we can just see if it's good enough. So now I'm just going to go back to the playtest and see how it freezes like we want it to. Alright. Now, there we go, click not now, and now the camera shouldn't move until under a second, pretty much. And it did anyway. Well, I think it's because this was already done. So we might have to actually edit the animation. Shall we not do? So it's camera. There we go. And now I'm just going to add a beginning part, which should be just the same thing. We won't have any changes till it gets to here. So it's the same. I think that's pretty good. So maybe a little under. Instead of 2 would be 1:5 ratio. There we go. And now you can see how it does. And it still has time exit enabled. But I don't think it's affecting anything. Oh! Oh my god. Well, at least we saved constantly, because if I didn't, I wouldn't get any, none of my work that I just did wouldn't save at all. And this doesn't even, it never fixes the problem, so just close it anyway and just open it. Alright. And I am using a Unity 2018 beta, so I think, oh, nope, I wasn't, so usually beta crashes more. Oh well. You guys can't see my screen right now, because I'm reopening Unity after it crashed. So I'm just going to have it so that it's set to ever. There we go. It takes a little bit to open up. It's gotta wait for it. Alright. I think it's almost done. Alright, there it goes. Alright. So I think most of our changes are still here, especially the animations, because those are physical files. We can just, if animation doesn't have it, or the animator doesn't have it, then we can just have it set still. So it has times off, but that doesn't make really any change. And I'm not sure if begin scene or the begin animation saved or not. Yeah, it didn't. But that's fine, because we didn't really change much. So set this to 1:5 ratio, 0, and it should be good to go. Yep. Freezes at first, and then it transitions. So that's good to hear. Let's meet. Yep. Alright. Now I'm going to see how it matches with what's happening. Alright.
The networking feature is currently enabled.
Except it wasn't really, seemed really anticlimactic a little bit. Like a little too fast. That's fine. So now we can probably know that we can change that to 2. Change this to 10 so that it's more cinematic. Instead of just 2. too on the nose. There we go. Alright. Actually, let me see how other X buttons work. Try again once. Just make sure this part works just fine after what has happened. Alright. Now I'm just going to click no. Alright, so I clicked no, but the dialog box did not go away. Either it's going too fast, or it's not in, you know, this dialog box isn't here. So at least we tested that, because that would have been a bug in the game. So now, I'm going to see, yeah, I have it saved here. Or not saved, but it is in the parameters, it just didn't, it was like, this happened first before everything else. So I can actually not have networking close end immediately, because if it did, then, you know, this would happen like it just did. So instead, I'm going to add a timing script, just so it gives it a couple seconds before it ends everything. Or, you know, disables everything in 1 second. Or actually, it supports floats, because, you know, that's how I had it set to. So 0.3, or, yeah, just anything above 0.0 should work. And then true objects, well, we actually want false. And I think it's just a couple. It could be more than just a couple. Alright. So now, it's gonna drag in everything that didn't work. Stop mode 4 and error. Well, actually, we don't need to set this. Set this to 1. And just add, yeah, really we just need 2 false objects. It'll just be networking close. The networking, but with change. That's all we need to do. And it's all, because it's all set up in the networking close anyway, like how it disables the objects. So we don't need to change that. Now I'm just going to get out of the scene so we can save the changes. Alright. Let's see if that fixed it. Alright. Okay. Just want to make sure that the changes didn't do anything else. But the cameras did seem better in the transition. It's more cinematic a little bit. And I'll probably improve it later on, off stream. Like when I need to. And I'll probably improve. Alright. So now, click yes. Go into connects, just gonna try again. Alright. There we go. Yep, that worked. Because it gave it enough time to actually do what it needs to. Then the camera does adjust here, which is what we need it to. Yep. That's pretty good. Alright. We don't really need this cube anymore, because we know that the camera does adjust right. Save. Alright, now I need to make some cool terrain effect, which would actually be like the ground, but it's going to use the visual effect graph, so that the ground's not there yet, like in reality, till you wake up, type of thing. So I think we can use quads for this, but we can actually create an object in Photoshop and have it so that there's multiple layers of the same ground. So I'm going to do that. Now, it's going to save the background. And let's go here. Alright. So you see what it would look like after I get it in. Color doesn't really matter because we just need to see it. So it'd be something like this, but for every part. Alright, except the cover's going to turn on black, but I guess, yeah, we use a different color up here. Yeah, it is set to black, but the fill is set to white. Confused here. There we go. So now, let's put this here, and we're going to carry this all, like, duplicate it. Oh, that duplication didn't work. You just have to duplicate the layer. Should be here. Alright. I think you can duplicate both at the same time, hopefully. And it does align close to correct, but it doesn't really matter with the visual graph, because it would blend in. Alright. Duplicate both of these layers, so that we can just add more to it. There we go. That's what we needed. And I would adjust the crop soon after this. And now, I'm just going to copy all of this so that I can put it underneath it. There we go. And now, let's put this here. There we go. I think that's pretty good. So now, we just need to crop it. So just this here. Alright. Now, I'm going to crop it. There we go. That's what we needed. And now, I'm just going to merge all these layers together. I think you can just use merge visible. Yep. And it does kind of add some blending to it. Now, I'm just going to do a new 3D extrusion, because it has to be 3D in order to make a point cloud out of it, so that the visual effects can read its map. There we go. And now, this is pretty much going to be what the ground looks like, but it's a little, yeah, we just need to fix this part. Yep, there we go, that's good. It's like a grid for the ground. That's how it's going to be. Alright. Now we got what we needed, so now we're just gonna save it as an OBJ. Connection's fine because that's the same scene. Just gonna name this grid ground. And now just gonna press OK, go back to Unity, refresh. And then after that, we should see a grid as an OBJ object. And then I'm going to use the Pcache tool to create a map out of it. Alright, so now I'm going to go back here, gameplay elements connection, and our grid should be here. Yep, there it is. And here's the grid. So now I'm going to go to Pcache tool, drag this to the mesh, set the point count to 10,000, and save to a Pcache file. Well, actually, let me set the, okay, I don't know why I did that when I click cancel, but here we go. I don't think it's saved either. So now, I'm going to go back to the folder that I was in, connection, and now I'm going to save it. It's pretty much just grid ground. Doesn't really matter with all these because the extension's different. Alright. There we go. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, here, let's see. We need to create a new grid, visual graph grid. Just need to see what I need to do. Alright. So now in the same folder, gameplay elements connection. I'm just going to create it here to visual graph. It's going to name this grid ground. Same thing pretty much. Alright, now I'm just going to drag this into the scene. There it is. And that's the default effect that we use. Go ahead and click edit. Alright. So now we're in the graph that we need to be in. Except nothing's showing up. Which I think there should be stuff that shows up. But I don't know why nothing's showing up. It's weird. Because how I'm going to remove that? Huh. Refresh maybe? No. Probably just have to reopen it. Alright, just a second. Alright, choose asset. You just make sure that OBS. Yeah, OBS did get that. Alright. Now I'm going to select the same asset that we wanted to change. Should be this. Alright, there we go. There's the grid. That's what we needed. Now I'm just going to remove all of this. We don't need it. Alright, system. Showing particle system. Alright, so now we got this. Well, you can't see it yet. There we go. This is what it is. It's not the default that we use, but I'm going to change this into the grid 3D model. Like the mapping, because there is no mapping, it's just falling off. Or it's following a vector field instead, which you can combine both, or both different pretty much. But now, we're just going to set it up so that it works with what we need it. Alright. So now in the visual graph, think under either initialize or update. Let's drag this out of the way. Oh, there we go. Let's see, initialize maybe. Position. Yeah. Map. We need to set the position for map, which would be here. I also need it for color as well. Set color for map. There we go. And now, point cache, operator utility. We're going to put in the grid ground. And I have exported the other parts that we need. Except for optional, pretty much you don't really need them. You just need position and color. Color allows you to see it. But we're just going to put this in for both. And right now on my screen, I see nothing. Because we need to create an output. So that the grid, or the, pretty much a point cloud can actually be outputted as a particle. Alright. So now back in the visual graph, we are going to, I think, under update. Oh, wait, no. Instead of cloud output, we don't need. Well, we can have that still, so that it follows something. We need a point output. This is what we need. I believe we could do this either from update or particle. Going to do it from initialize to here. Alright, and now it's going to say everything else. Position. Alright. I'm not. Yeah, we don't need to set this. Like, we don't need to add anything to it. And maybe that wasn't right. Having it set to initialize, so. Instead of here, I'm just going to add it to update instead. So, I don't know why update got disconnected, so I'm just going to add it back in. Alright. And now, yep, I see it, so that worked. We just need to change the size so that it's not too big, because that's Photoshop's saving feature. To make it so it's too big. So instead of 1 for the value scale, for set position for map, we're going to set this to 0.01 instead. For each n, x, y, and z. There we go. And the color is something that we can fix. And it's kind of what the ground would be like in the game. Except something drawn a little bit. Okay, now I just can't see it at all. I was changing the color for that. Now it's too bright. Okay, I see why it's bleeding out like that. It's from the vector field and the intensity. Or from min and max. One of those. I'm gonna set it back to default. I might just add a pulse effect to the grid ground. But anyway, I'm gonna try to fix it so that it doesn't bleed out like that. 0.4. Nope, that didn't make a change at all. Because that's on the crowd output. We don't need that. Intensity maybe. Set this lower. Yep, there we go. So actually, it's exactly what we needed. So now, grid's fine. And there might be a way to make it so that you can just blend it all in for the entire scene, because this is what the entire ground's going to be like for each head. Except the problem is that when I look in a different direction, they disappear. Not sure if disabling occlusion culling on the camera would do anything, but that could be an issue. So we might have to fix that soon. I'll figure out what we can do to fix that. But anyway, I'm just going to change the settings to. We can create parameters as well to add effects to it. Kind of like this, but we can use a float to change that number. That's from max. The max was originally set to 2, I believe, which should automatically place it back, except it's not placing back. Probably till we reload it, yep. Alright, now I'm going to add a pulse effect to it so that it would pretty much glow, but fades in and out type glow. So I believe we can do that under update, or we can use sine waves to do this. Alright, and now I believe we can do this from somewhere. The intensity, no. I think we can do this to color. Like the scale maybe? Let's have to figure it out. At some certain point. Let me see if the scale does anything. It could work. So we can, well actually it doesn't convert. Or it works anyway, it converts. Yeah, there we go. So now, I believe for the input, we would add another operator. Sampling. No. That's what we need. Time, yeah. We need total time. But we need operator. Not per particle. There we go. Yep. Alright, I got that pulse effect. So now, it's gonna set so that the max is better. Yeah, there we go. And the min, well, let's see. Yep, okay. So I'm going to switch scenes. There we go. Alright. So you can see how it's pulsating a little bit, I think. Yeah, it's very hard to tell right now. So maybe I can lower down the frequency. Yep. To a certain point. So that's more noticeable. Yep, there we go. So now, yeah, okay. Just something else. So that it doesn't take as long. That's better. Now we just need to set the color to something. Probably like blue or green. That's red. So I'm just gonna say blue. There we go. So that's kind of like what it's going to be like. Except you won't be able to see it do the networking part. Or no, that's what it's like. But now... Plus this is just in the cutscene, so I don't think occlusion culling might not matter. We just need to make it so that it's not, you know, it actually... The camera doesn't move out of the viewing area. I think that's all we need to focus on. So now... It's gonna flip this down, so that the grid's no, yep. But you see what I mean with the occlusion culling it. It's pretty bad. So now, it's gonna add more to this. Just more grids, so that it covers most of the area that we need to cover. Alright. Yep, oh god. Need to deal with that for now. Not sure if you can fix that in the settings or not. Might be able to. I think it is causing a bit of lag. Because this is probably a lot demanding for it, probably because of brightness intensity. Now it's doubled. These particles aren't really that demanding on the GPU, because the GPU knows how to handle it, right? Just the occlusion culling is just killing it for me. It's kind of what I wanted or thought about. There. I just need to see how the camera picks it up now. And the rotation on the camera is a little strange. I can deal with that for now. So you won't actually see this in the networking scene. I could probably have it fade in after networking dialogue's gone. But we do that after. So not now. Then the camera would aim down. And the player, the main character, would be right here. And he would get up and speak a little bit. And then all this grids are going to like form an entire forest. Alright. I think that kind of worked. I didn't really notice the occlusion culling come in. And we just need to make it so it's not noticeable during the cutscene. Because you won't move around in this part really. So now I just need to adjust the camera to make sure that, yeah, you can see how it's disabling in there and can't even see a dang thing. Yep. It's also because it's offsetted from the lamp, or that's the icon, but it is offsetted because it came out too big in Photoshop. So if this was middleized, if the offset was right, then that would probably be less noticeable if it's more the icon's more seen. So we can try doing that. We can offset right, but I'm just going to need one grid. So I'm just going to disable this. Alright. And you see how it's offset? Well, it's right there, but the rest is right here. If we have the icon set in the middle, then it would be able to capture all parts. So the icon would still be right here, but you know what I mean, it won't be offset. It would be offset correctly. So we're going to try changing the center. Nope. We can offset the map from position. Or position from map, we can change that a little bit. Yep, there we go. So it's not that sensitive because of how big it is, of our object is, so it's going to have to drag a lot, over 1,000 points. So yeah, that's close. And this rule will be applied to all the parts in the scene. Like all the grids. Oh, okay. So now, yeah, it's pretty much what we need it to be at. Now we just need it to that, I think the Z, if we change that a little bit. Alright, that's odd. That should be the Y, wait. Unless it's tricking my eye. Nope. So I guess it's flipped in a weird way, yep. So that would have been Y. It's kind of odd. So I guess we just changed the Y instead. So it's in the very middle. Okay, there we go, that's close. So now, oh, whoa. It's because it's under or something? So apparently there's a distance too. I'm just trying to get so that the sides don't mess up. Based upon where it's at. So I don't think Z matters. Doesn't need to change much. Just to make sure that I can look from this direction at most parts out, and that's pretty much what it is. Alright. So now, we might have to delete all of these because the offset. Oh wait. Oh, I pointed in right. Because the offset changed, but it doesn't seem like it mattered much. Sometimes that types of change doesn't matter at all. Oh wait, that was in the right position? Okay. Oh, it was just going in the wrong way. That was doubled over something else. So I think that's, yeah. I think it's just the distance that we need to fix. You can try going into the project settings and try to change the quality a little bit. I think there is a distance somewhere around here that we can change up to. Just need to see where it's at. Alright. But I do not see it. Alright. There's no graphics, but that's for shaders only. So I don't really know where it could be at. That's pretty much all we need to fix. Alright. But I believe just transitioning the camera would do. I mean, so that it doesn't like glitch out like that. You just need to make sure that you're aiming at the right direction. Alright. Because for the most part, this end cutscene, where the camera aims down, that works just fine. I don't see any things appear. Yep. I guess that can work too. Where it fades in, you see how the grid kind of did this? It had that fade effect. So it's not just constantly anticlimactic, it's actually got... Yeah, it's pretty cool, because it's like... Because technically, the scene's being made by itself. And having the grid do that would be pretty cool. Yep. Just need to make sure that, yeah. Because the thing is that once it's done, it's done. It won't restart. I think. For the most part, yep. Since it's loaded into memory. Just not displayed. But that was fine for the most part. It was just this part over here that we needed to change. So that the camera can look in that direction. So I think we can up this part, or kind of like this, just to make it blend in. But it would still show up. It's a good type of manipulation for it. Camera is right here, so it would be aiming right here. So now we just need to up this up a bit. Either upwards or downwards, but I'm just going to do upwards. Alright, there we go, we fixed that part. So you can see how it's not, like, I can't notice the overlapping much at all. And you can still see it, for the most part. Which is what we pretty much need. So now, I'm just going to have it so that all of these are at our, wait. Let's drag all this and make it child for this. Well, not yet, but just need to see one. Alright. So I'm going to exit the scene. Delete this one, put it back in. Alright. Then I'm just going to add this as a child. All these are childs to this main object. Now, you won't see it in the networking dialog until you quit. Then it would fade in. Probably add a random value to the fade in part so that all of them have a different type of fade type of thing. Alright, not now. Instead of just this, where each of them would fade in. I think that would be pretty neat. So that it's like building up type of thing. Alright. It's pretty decent so far. So now, I'm going to enable each of them, but since we're all childs, I could see each of them change in the scene editor. So now, let's enable each of these. And now, what I'm going to do is in the visual graph, wait, what's this over here? This one part, it's empty. So we can probably try fixing that up. There. But yeah, let's see, visual graph. I'm just going to add a random value to, well, we need to see what would make that change to fade in. Radius, we could try seeing what that would do. Don't think that did much. If it was set to 0, all of them wouldn't be there. Okay. Let's see. Min max. Because if we do that, we just overload and pull it out. But we can probably do that for some certain point. Yeah, like when it's building up the scene. first, I mean. But right now, because we all bleed in together, I'm gonna set this back to default now. You know what I could do? I could just set this, the min, or, you know, the max to 0 at first. And now we can just add a random value to the build-up. Or wait. Can have it. Maybe there's a way to detect what number it reaches and how it can restart again. Constant, yeah. Per component. Alright. Let's see. I'm just going to see what it does first. Let's switch the scene. So that doesn't change much at all. Alright. Probably what we could do is change the particles amount. That wouldn't. I mean, that might work. Just to build up, we could change drag maybe. Just need to mess around with it a bit with it till we get something. All right. So right now, yeah, it didn't change much at all. Okay. Oh wait. That actually deleted the thing from the update block. But that's not good, actually, because how is it going to work? Like, it does work, but technically, and you can see the fade in more. Yeah. I'm just going to look back in the stream just to see what object it is. Oh, it was the vector field. I just pressed Control Z and it deleted it. Maybe I can do it. Yeah, okay. I must have pressed delete by accident, so I fixed it pretty much. Alright, so now we got that back. Change the drag to 0 or 1. Something like that. Just make a constant change for all of them. Alright. So now, oh wait, maybe we can use color so that color isn't, yeah, that could be the random part for it to, like, so each of them randomly appears to build up the scene. But that could be what we can do. So I can try setting the value balance. Now that's just, yeah, because color does affect a lot for this. But I'm using sine wave float. Maybe we can change it from total time to a random number for the input. And that can probably make a change for each of them to show up. So let's just see. So we just need to make it so that minimum is more negative, but it is more constant per pixel or particle. So per component. Just go and search this out. Alright, so it has got that randomness to it a little bit, where this is darker than the rest. But I'm trying to make a fade in for each of them so that they do reach that point. But now it's just making just, yeah, they all got a different color to it now. And since it's constant, maybe we can change this off. Alright. Redo the networking done. It kinda has that, because you can see each of them have a difference to it. So let's see. I'm going to, we can mess with the sine wave settings so that we can probably get it to do what we want it to do. The max, maybe we can change that to 8, but I would just make it brighter. I'm just trying to make it so that it appears out of nowhere, depending on the time, I guess. Alright, random number, -50. Just add more to it. Alright. Constant though. I think constant stays. Yeah, it allows the number to stay. So technically, that doesn't really work. But just need to figure out at some point. Alright. Let's see here. So random number. Seed. That would just make more randomness. Yep. Alright. Don't really need that. But what we need... Maybe we just need to add the random number part to a different part. Using sine wave still. But what I mean is, instead of from color, you would do it from something else, like the max from the lifetime random. So, yeah, that's set to 0 right now, and the minimum's set to 1. I'm gonna flip that. Alright, so I got that flipped. Now it's harder to see because there's nothing going to the input of the sine wave. So I'm gonna set that back to total time. Now it's got that, yep, that pulse is back. Now it's going to need to make it so that the max of lifetime random is, you know, random, using random number. Alright, then sine wave, connect random number to sine wave to the input. Alright, accidentally put it through frequency, so there we go. Alright, to there is for the most part. Actually, set the frequency lower so you can notice the difference. It looks like it applied, yeah, it applies for each particle, so I'm going to set that to component. Alright, there's a little bit of a difference now. So now we're affecting the part that we want to affect, which is the fade, and all the fades are different since it's per component, except we want it to still fade at the part, you know, at the max like the rest, just each of them randomly fade in out of nowhere. Alright, so we're getting most of it for the most part. Just need to work with it a little bit. So sine wave, yeah, it is set to constant, which makes no change. And that doesn't seem to, yeah, it just makes it back to default again. Well, actually, I think that it kind of is. It's kind of got it. Except it's just all very similar. And the min set to 0 and the max set to 1. Which means that we just need to make those numbers more spread apart. It's still very similar. Max. Let's see. That change didn't make it much of a difference. Not sure if setting it to negative really changes anything. So maybe we can add that to the minimum. What if I add the minimum to a negative number? So if I change the minimum to a negative number, it does have that fade out. So we can just combine that with max. I wonder if there's a way we can time it, but we need the starting value to be random. But you can still work with it this way. So probably going to need 2 sine waves and 2 random number blocks. So I'm just going to copy each. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to connect it together so that it works. Minimum. There we go. Alright, it's back to default pretty much. Just need to make some changes. It's minimum 0, 1. now, maybe this max. That just might make it over bright. Yeah, because it does make it bleed out. Which means that the number's going over. So I'm just going to have the max set to 1 for each. Alright. Let's see. Frequency maybe. Just gotta experiment with it. Alright. So that time feels pretty much the same. I wonder if when I look away, yeah, it feels like it does fade in, which wasn't there before. And the colors are still a little different, especially when I look away and look back in. So we got that effect, which is good. So that doesn't feel too anticlimactic, but it's still a little constant with it. Plus, we already have that limited to the animation. You can't notice that, where the viewing isn't strange. Alright. So there might be another way to work with this, but like, this one's disabled. This one's disabled. Trying to make it so that they all each appear. I could probably use a script. Since these are all childs, I can probably put this in a loop function and make it so that each of them are triggered. Plus they do each have a different color when one of them is disabled at the round time of all of these. Like it has a different pulse. So probably what we could do is just create a new script to loop through all of these objects. So we can create that fade. Loop fade grid ground. It's gonna be the script. Alright. Now for imports, it's going to open it up. Alright. Here it is. Loop fade grid ground. It's going to open up another script for a reference. Alright. Just have to figure out what it's called. Because I do have another script that's similar. We can just go off that. Because I don't do loop functions much at all. I mean, because we're going to mess with arrays. And put multiple objects in it. Yeah, okay, I remember. It's timing script. That's what it's called. So we can just open that up. As well. Alright, here it is. So you can see getting object, and then this makes it an array, meaning that it grabs multiple. So that, yeah, that's pretty much what we need. Alright. Alright, so now public game object, array type, and we just call it grids. And now, I'm not sure if there's anything else I need. Hello, Lilo. How's it going? Alright, public float. Maybe we can just add like a timing value to it, because it is using random that range. Or random seed, probably, or intensity. But you can spell it right. Just drag this. Then. Of all this, well, we could probably use the update, because technically it is going through a loop and you need an update fully for that. And we can probably create a local variable, random type range, but we need to make sure, because it is using, I think the system got collections, it has it like priced it. Yeah, I'm quite tired as well, and I actually took a nap earlier. But, because I didn't get much sleep at all. I went to bed at 4 a.m. because I couldn't sleep at all, and that messed me up so much. I even got work tomorrow now, and that's gonna be great. Alright, so now, let's gotta think. Oh, yeah, local variable. But we can probably call it something like, let's see. Random local equals new. Well, do we have to create a new random at range or that range? Yeah, that doesn't work. Let's see why. Float does not contain definition for range. Don't know why it says float cannot be found. Because technically this is... Okay, yeah, it's just... Let's do this. So that might cause issues because it wants... Yeah, these are local variables. I'm just going to add up here instead. Remnant range 0 to 50 or something. So we're going to have that set here. Party. Oh, I see. It's conflicting with this as name. There we go. Actually, random max and then. Oh, now we can just go capital now. There we go. Except, if I were to do that, you can't do that unless you're inside a void. Still need to figure out how we can do it with locally. But then it's just going to say it doesn't exist. Despite what I'm trying to do. Now it's a building. Except I don't want it to do that at all. Okay, it keeps looping. Alright, there we go. Random local does not exist. Good. But, not good. Float. Oh, can't do that. Try to start. Just need to figure it out. I think it's kind of like that. That uses new though. And they, yeah, it just appears out of nowhere. Maybe you just have to call it random. But if I do that, well, technically you can't do that. Just don't get why. Yeah, it says it doesn't exist. Now it says it's a local variable. Now that worked apparently. Alright. Good, fair enough. Alright, now we're just going to need the loop to... Let's see. Yep, for I and I. What's this? So this is what we need pretty much. Tree objects does not exist, except grids does. That's what we need. Grid style length. Alright. So I equals 0 at first, because it is going through an array and it can't go out of it or below it. So now, I think what we could do is grids and then the number I, because technically it is an integer and that's a number, dot set active. So if we kind of want this to have like a randomness to it, where I is different each time till it hits the max point. Maybe we can try I equals, you know, random local. Except that doesn't change each time. Even though it's an update function to local variable. Let's try this. So that's still in the each. Alright. Oh yeah, this is technically an integer. I think floats will not work at all. Wonder if there's a way to make this so it's int only. Alright, we can do a cast. Like this, maybe? Invalid expression term. Maybe in the front of each. So that these are floats already. Probably for this. Or outside. No. Because technically it would be an intro anyway. Maybe it would be. Or unless we have another random that just uses ints. Try that. Unless this is using multiple fields. So these can be ints maybe. Because we can't use floats, technically. Yeah, that fixed it. Alright, there we go. And now, this. Oh yeah, because this isn't finished. Alright, technically true. That's what we need. Alright, so we got that done. I think that could work for the most part, but we need to make sure that I does equal the max at some point. Wonder if there's a way to check if one's already done already. Like here, if I do this. Equals true already. Not set active, but active self. That's what we need. Is true. Or not, no, equals true. But technically we don't, yeah, we only want it to be set active to true. When that's there, and now, let's add the function. When it's true already, we're just gonna have it set to never random again. Now we can just move this out. Alright, so now this exclamation points flips, like it makes it the opposite. So now this is pretty much wanting false instead of true. So if it's not true, is what the exclamation points means. And if it's true, which is what we don't want, we would just change the number to something else, because technically it's already enabled, so we don't need to do anything. So there we go. I think that's pretty much it for the script. Now we can apply it. And let's see, I'm going to flip the scene editor. There we go. I'm going to need to refresh. Alright, there we go. Networking done. Would not have it, well, yeah, it would. And now, after it's done importing, just going to place it in. So all these child objects will be disabled at first. It's called child objects because it's linked to this networking done. All of them are. So now, let's see. What was it called again? Loop fade grid graph. There we go. Now our grids, we are going to set it to the mount. I believe it's 49. But actually, I think it tells me how many I have selected. It might. Nah, we can just guess for now. So go to say 49. Because it does read to 48 and this is set to 1. I wonder if there's a way to just drag it in. Well, nope. Do I have to do this the hard way? It could have been an easier way maybe, but it doesn't really have to be in order either. Because technically it is random. Alright, 9, 8. I've done these type of parts before where I had to do a bunch of these. I think the highest I went to was up to 90 objects that I had to like drag in. It doesn't take as long as you think, but it takes a little bit of time. Probably less than 5 minutes or more than that, just a little more. But we're already up to 20 out of 40. So we're halfway done already. So you keep dragging in. And then all of these are just going to be randomly set up so that they all won't be enabled at first. But we have that fade in effect like it's building up. So that's pretty much what we need. We could probably build like a slope for each of these, just so it actually has that turning feeling to it. Because technically it's not an actual turning, but we're going to make it so that it builds itself into an actual turning. But for now, it's it's flat, just so that we can test it out. Alright, 35. So 10 more to go, and then we got it. 40. Alright, couple more. Then after that, we got it. Alright. 7. 4 were stored here, because I copied and pasted it somewhere else. And now we're done. Alright. So I believe we would set the max, random max, to 48. Because that's all it can hit to, pretty much. Random minimum will be set to 0 no matter what. But now, since we got all that set, we can just disable all of these. And hopefully that does it. Alright, let's see. XerStudios saved first. Because I don't want to do all that again. And Unity already crashed, like as soon as I started streaming. But let's try and see. Alright.
The networking feature is currently enabled. Would you like to do a connection test?
Oh jeez. Oh no. Wait. I think that was too much for it. Oh man. Shoot. What is it? Yeah, I overloaded the memory. I couldn't even open up File Mixer because it was overloading the memory too much. Oh, that sucks. Oh shit. Alright. Let me just reopen that up. Alright, here we go. So something in the script made it so that it was doing it too much. It kind of blurred out a little bit. So we need to fix that before we actually try again, because there's always a reason for that type of crash. I just don't know how it could, yeah. I was there at first, but something blurred out. So, oh, I did save before this actually occurred, like this issue occurred, or maybe I just forgot what I saved. Goes, look, good ground, all of it's set, we don't need to set that again. Except the size is set to 49, that's fine actually. Alright, good. So now we don't actually need to redo anything, that's good to know. Just in the script, I think. Or maybe the parameters messed it up. Because technically, it kind of overloaded, which isn't good. We need to break out the loop somehow. Because technically it is supposed to break out the loop, but somehow it just didn't do that. Let's see. Technically active self is probably, yeah, it has a real, to grid set length. I remember having set this to -1 because I did have errors before saying that it's out of the actual array, but that doesn't cause the memory to overload. Nah, we don't need that. That's what I did before though. But I guess that's what caused it. Don't know. So we check Titan script. Technically, alright. I did something a little different here. So that I is less than 1, or no, it's greater than actually. Debug.log error isn't actually an error, it's just for testing. but we need to make it so that it breaks out the loop at some point. And I don't think we could have eye set above or below, because that would mess up the array. So, let's see. I is greater than or equal to quit step length. Let's run. And could have a bool pirate called not done. So let's set the false at first. Alright. Let's cover all this up. So not done's already covered, and now over here. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Grid stop length 31. Alright. Or there's that or bracket. Pencil out. Okay. So now I cannot be wait. Minus gets that way. Just so it's underneath, below, or above. Try that. So I'm not sure if that's going to really do much, but I guess we could just experiment for now. Hopefully it doesn't crash Unity again, because that would suck again. Except it did save, so that's what I'm happy about. Oh wait, it's a... well, just wait and see if it crashes or not, because it's enabled right now. Except all of them are enabled. I called the game objects. So that's not good. We just need to pause this, please. Unless it's overloaded. I'm just gonna check task manager. My settings messed up. Alright, there we go. In the editor. The memory keeps building up above this. Been overloaded, but right now it's idling. Or it's not, but the CPU is building up. Wasn't this the first playtest? Since it just reopened up? Because I would have expected it to actually do something else. It might still just overloaded. Because this didn't break out of it, and plus, that's got any relevance to it. Let's try again. And I have it so that I don't forget the to switch to the script editor and the scene editor anymore. Because I noticed a couple minutes ago that it was only set to the scene editor when I was actually in Visual Studio, so sorry about that. So on the top it says Ever Stuff and Tools, which means everything pretty much. So I don't have to forget. Alright, there we go. There we go, just close up that, and now don't have all this disabled because that pop glitched it out. But it shouldn't freeze up like that at all. It shouldn't overload. We could try disabling this, loop fade grid ground, just to see if it does actually playtest. And if not, then it would be something else, but I'm pretty sure there's a free character on. Since it's the only thing that has real, actual, yep, loop function. I'm not going to enable it to test it, because I already know what it does. Alright. Just need to figure out how to break out this loop. I don't think this did anything. We can use a boolean, just we're gonna hit it so that it hits the max, because the max is when it's done. But thing is though that this is using I++, which adds up to it, and if it does that, that would probably conflict with random range. So we probably don't even need I++. All we need is grid set length. I'm not even sure if we need a point. That's it. So now it's just relying on random.range now, so it doesn't have to add up. We're using I++. So that might fix it. Don't even know if we need this or not. Well, technically we don't. This does nothing, because it's only affecting I. Random local doesn't really affect anything else except itself. Alright, so now going out of Visual Studio back to here. Just fix the position. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to go back, turn the script back on, and that might do a change. I might just get an error at the bottom, but it shouldn't overload Unity. Alright, let's go back.
The networking feature is current.
God damn it. Yep. Alright, back to Visual Studio. Let's see. I didn't really affect not done at all, but let's see. It's true. Maybe instead of random.range, we could just do a simple check, meaning this would equal +1. Just maybe random.range is breaking it somehow. So technically, ++. I can actually do it. And now, this doesn't really change I. But I guess, not sure if it matters. Let's just see for now, because Unity should already be opened up.
The networking feature is current.
So back to Visual Studio. Actually, I wasn't refreshing the script when Unity opened up. Not sure that would make a change at all, because technically it did crash, and just not sure if it refreshed or not. But so I guess that didn't work. It's still right into the loop, which isn't good. We'll figure this out at some point. To keep working with it. It's all trouble in there pretty much. I've created that. So not really sure if it's this or if it's something here. It shouldn't be though. Just wonder how, because I did break the lip differently through here. Yeah, we can try doing that. Just do what this did. to break out of it. And set sure, then reset the grids. Then move 1, and then we just actually set not done to something, so that not done is got a purpose. Alright. This. Okay. So not done would happen. Like if it's set to true, then this wouldn't happen and wouldn't overload. If I is above, because technically this does go super fast, and because of that, it happens out of nowhere, pretty much unexpectedly. So now, since Unity's opened up again, I'm just going to do a quick refresh. Well, actually, I'm going to check if there's any changes to the script. We should be under game on elements connection. I think I put it, yeah, here it is. Let's see if I have the script anywhere. It seems, well, look at that, I++. That right there being said did not reload. So none of the changes I just did didn't really mean that it was breaking, because it didn't refresh. Well, I'm not going to delete all of this. I just need to make sure, want to make sure that this is right. I++ is good for here. We just don't need to random that range. Well, technically we do, if you think about it, because that's the main purpose of this. That's to make sure that it's not going over it. And it was the entire time. That's what was happening. Run that range right there. That's pretty much what we wanted. Let's just save it. But, you know, when I save it, it doesn't really do it until I refresh. And it wasn't refreshing this entire time. So now, after we refresh, it's going to recompile the script. And now, it hopefully shouldn't overload this time. Because none of the changes I just did weren't really the issue. It was just, I think I++ killed it. Just to make sure it just change. Yep. So now I++ is not there anymore, and it should not overload when I don't want. Well, I still have I++, but not anymore. So now it's only relying on random out range. It's not relying on two things at once. So I believe that would, but that did happen to overload it, or it caused it. So hopefully, like I said, console should just appear with an issue in the bottom instead of just actually killing Unity. So let's just see the changes made.
The networking feed.
Jeez. Loops, man. I swear. I never use the loops much. It's pretty much why it's not working. I just don't know how to break it. I'll break out of it. I wonder how long I've been working on this one section. Probably like 30 minutes. I mean, just for the script. I mean, just for loops. Just want to fix it up. Unity opens fast, at least. Unreal, however, takes a while. Because I used it before. It's just, at the time, it was a hassle because it kept crashing on me. But I was using an old computer anyway. Alright. Let's see. Get in that range. X. Okay, if it doesn't equal, because maybe it just I am in a void update, but I believe, yeah, it should be a void update because it has to keep doing it. Let's see. Alright. I'm pinning where it's at. can always search this up too. Because maybe that's how I fixed it last time. I wonder if I made yeah, that's the only change I made, but I don't think that would affect much. Just in case. Google. So this is a while loop function? Or it's just for, it's not for each. Yeah, I did go to this firms before. Okay, let's see. And to this exact page I went to. And post this is a different loop. It uses while instead of for. I wonder if that could make a change at all. Okay, I know what loop, yeah, freeze means, but. Okay. To make a small change so that it actually isn't infinite. Just gonna think for a little bit. Alright. Let's see. I think I might know another way of doing this. Like alternative ways work too. And use a float. Kinda like that. And add on to it. So that it's timed for each, so it doesn't just overload despite what's happening. And you can just have it so that it can just detect the max and not have to actually just be in one function. So the value isn't changing at all So it would never break. I guess we could just do an I++ test instead of random that range, just to see if it is random that range, right? It's affecting it. Then after that, close this out just in case it doesn't close out. We don't need this. Just have this up here, so that it always adds up 6 errors. All right, yeah, let's try that. Refresh. Alright. Then I got that done. Alright. But if this still freezes Unity, then you could just use an alternative way. You can just time it and hit the max somewhere else. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Alright. So yeah, it was random that range that was causing that issue. You can see that they all enabled technically, but what I was trying to do is I was trying to have it so that each of them enables out of nowhere. Of course, that needs to be timed anyway, right? Because you know how it has to be timed anyway, since it's kind of random and comes out of nowhere for each of them. You see what I mean after I finish it, but still. So maybe this isn't what we're looking for. I mean, some of it is. Just for what we're doing, it just doesn't really like what we're trying to do. So we're going to need to time this. I don't think we can use an or wait for seconds field, since you can only use that once. So we can just use a float. use it for milliseconds or something. And then after that, have it up here and have it so that this is, oh no, this is more depending on the max. So we can have a max or max time. Have this here. Alright. The not done doesn't really matter. Just have that anyway. Now, I'm going to need to change this up a little bit. Maybe don't use a for. Maybe just use an if instead. Let's see here. I as a local variable isn't really used as an if. So we can just have this up here under update. Hopefully it doesn't constantly set it to 0, but it is creating a local variable and they have it so it's set once. Alright. This way won't just break out of nowhere. And now if I is hit to the max, well pretty much it's this, but it's not type of thing. Clean it up. So this doesn't support integers, which means that we will need to flip it like that. And then after that, we're going to have it so that we're going to check these, make sure that's compatible. Now this is where we have the random net range for I. Then after that, that would be set to true. For the opposite, I set to 0 at first, because that's the starting point, and then it just, if it is true already, then you know, it would just go up. So it checks each of them, each of the objects, making sure that all of them's enabled. Then if all of them are not, or if all of them are, then it would just stop, because it's all done. Doesn't need to do anymore. Alright, then we do a refresh. But I believe this should fix the actual, yeah, the freeze issue should be fixed because we're not using the for function anymore, we're using if. And we're doing it a little differently, but technically it worked, the loop function, but not for what we were trying to make it intended for. So now I'm going to leave, yep, it's already done reloading. Got everything done, make sure all these are disabled, yep. Click on where to save it, and we do have some parameters that we need to set, like min-maximum time. Alright, so is there any compilers? Well, actually, that wasn't public, was it? Yeah, it wasn't. Max time needs to be public. This doesn't. Wait for seconds, because that happens for each of these. Well, actually, it's not being used at all. Or it's not being added to. Wonder if this would work instead. Well, it technically should work, but we need to have it so that it's randomly going up. So I would probably just have it do it one time. And done would be enabled after that one time. And then it would be disabled and we restart. We could try that. Alright. So it is set to true. Restart. And then go to never. Alright, yeah, that can work. So we go. I don't know if we need this. That would freeze it up, probably. Okay. So now out of that function, if rates per seconds does equal or more than max time, it would set not done back to false. Alright. Oh, technically we don't, because it goes over anyway. Alright. Now we can try that for the most part. Just to see if it makes any change. Sorry, what's this? Call it on for. Alright, so I, right here, isn't connected to this. That's fine, because we just had this above. So now it's connected to all of it. Which is what we need for it to work. Alright. So when max time is hit, well, actually we need one more thing. Wait for seconds, it needs to be restarted. So that it redoes the timing again. Wait for a second to do this. Now we just need to add to it through here. Maybe we can use a constant. Or plus plus. Technically that would just add on to it. Equals. Nope. Let's just copy paste. Technically it has to be very slow with this, because we're just overloaded. And timing does matter with the frame rate. It has to match the frame rate since it's not using delta time. Even though it's not really that important. Alright. What if we can just add something to change the constant? Just the last thing we need. Constant. So that constant can be set to this. There we go. And we can see what this does. Refresh. Refresh. Alright. I'm gonna go back to networking done. Set the new primers. Alright. Now we need the have these set right. Max time. We could do 5 and then kind of like what we did before, but I only had it set to public. It's the same number so that we can experiment with it and get it more accurate. Alright. Save. Alright, let's see what it does. Let's see if each of them activate. I kind of still use my Twitter account. I mean, not for publishing, but I mean, actually not much at all. I pretty much only use GameJolt, Itch.io, and YouTube. Itch.io less often, but GameJolt and YouTube are pretty much where I'm most active on. Alright. Please don't crash. Thank you. Now. One of them. Oh. I'm wondering if it's... Okay, it's doing it right. But it's just too slow. That's what I mean. This did activate first time, and it went to something else. Checked all of these. So I'm wondering if it's checking too much of the false ones. Well, technically that shouldn't do anything. It's just maybe 5 is too much of a number for it. We could just set this to 2 in real time and see if more of them enable. Okay, yep, we're getting more. Good. See the randomness to it where they're all faded. Now we just have to get the timing right and be perfect. Yep, great ground for 3 activated. Just need to see the constant. 34. So yeah, going a little bit too slow. Just gonna need to fix that just a little bit. Try that. Yep, that's better. So they appear out of nowhere. Okay. 0.5. It checks if all of them are set to true and then it should stop. It shouldn't be doing it anymore. Yep. So it's building itself, it's constructing itself, its own grid. Okay. So wait for a couple more. One more is needed. And this one does not get activated at the end. So yeah. It's working technically. Maybe if we set this to 49, maybe that would work. Unless that breaks the grid or the array. We could check the console if it does. But yeah, I got it. So this number is just off by 1. So yeah, script works. Just need to fix the timing just a little bit so that's more faster. And this weird glitchy viewport. Well, I think the visual effect graph during this point was in beta. But technically it's a cutscene camera that's going to look at the exact points where I want it to look at. So I can just, you know, use a trick just by the movement of the camera to make sure that it's right there. So it's just a cutscene of Porter waking up. But yeah, we got that. Set this 49. Alright. Probably 0.1 maybe. Maybe that would be fast enough. Alright. At least it works though. So I'm pretty happy with that. Getting it now. Alright. So that's a lot better. You could see more of them are appearing. And I think all of them are mostly done right now. Yep. Except the pulse is different each time. I don't know if we can change that so that it doesn't look like that they're about to disappear. It's just the min and max values that we need to change so that it doesn't look like it's going away, coming back in. I mean, we kind of want that effect, but not too much of it. Alright, switch all the way to effects and get back with the effect graph editor after I reopen it. Alright, here it is. So yeah, it's in the effect graph editor that we need. Now I'm going to go back to grid ground, click edit. Alright, here it is. So in sine wave right here. Yep. Sine wave total. I don't know if I'm still using the one up here. Yeah, I am. Not sure if that's making that much of a difference. So the min, maybe 1 would work. I'm going to enable it and see. Right, for one of them, just to see if it's too much. I don't know if I could see in the camera. No. So I'm just going to enable all of them so I can see all of them. Do it. Synchronize. Yep. That fixed it. So now they're not fading out of the universe anymore. It's just right. Alright. I'm going to disable all of them. Go back. Now what I'm going to do, just go back to network done, check back again. Alright, press play. Now for the one part where the error appears when it cannot connect. I want it so that, well, it's already done basically, but I need to test to make sure that it does activate and everything done properly. There we go. So, yep. Try again once just to make sure that it doesn't make any changes to the script. Then I'm going to click no, and there it goes. then the player is right here, just on the grid. Yeah, there we go. And we got the voice acting clips done. Oh, it's already cropped up.
What's going on here?
Oh. And there's going to be reverb effects, but it sounds much better instead of, you know, what it did sound like. Alright. Let's see here. Done. Just going to enable it for now so I can see what I'm doing when I'm putting the player down. And probably need a pose, because I think it's just, I only have the full animation ones. Yeah, and plus I didn't really do much with the... Oh yeah, it is dark. Super dark. You're going to need to add lighting. Directional lighting, maybe. And he is super small. And this isn't really him. I mean, it is, but this is him when he's older. We did him when he's younger. And I do have that as a model. We just need to switch it over. But right now I'm just going to adjust the lighting with him first. So it looks just right the way we want it. And you can see what it looks like with the camera, with the post-processing enabled. Because for now this is just the other camera. So let's see what our camera is. There it is. Alright. Coming out this direction. Now we just need to find the character. Place him over here. Okay. It's gonna be laying like that for now. Until I switch the pose over in the character. This is just for testing with the visual effects, making sure that the lighting's just right. The lighting can be worked on a little bit, because technically there is no sun in here. So you just need to make more realistic lighting. Yep, shadows work. You can use that. Probably change the color down to gray. And then the angle, if I could find it, yeah, there it is. You can change the angle down so that's aiming at him. Do that angle, yeah, like that. But more towards. Actually, it is aiming at that direction, so let's do that. Probably a little bit more intensity, color. Yeah, like a purpleness to the color. Then add more to the bright. Yeah, that does match with the environment more. Can I make a change? No. Intensity 16. There we go. So now the color's just right. Just the character and the pose need to change. So I'm going to open up my character editor. Not sure if they're reinstalled or not this time because it is glitchy. Alright. See, I do this glitch. Right click. You know, like hold enter, open 1,000,000 times till it actually works, because it doesn't open when you just double click it. And then if that trick doesn't work, you need to reinstall it, and that takes a while and it sucks. There we go. Okay, thankfully it worked this time. Now I should have 1,000,000 of them opened up. Yep, nope. Because most of it crashes. Oh, there it is. Yep, CPU's at 100 right now. Then I need to wait for the rest of them to crash. One of them to open up. Unless we all are opening up. and It's taking too much time. Because we all are building memory. Oh. I think these are all the working ones. Just need one of them. There we go. And we got it. Right here. Just need to go to my recently made character. Oh, not new model. Don't need that. Yeah, open. Actually, I already have it uploaded. I believe I have it already uploaded. Alright. Yep, I already have it uploaded, so we don't need this. Then we're going to switch out the pose. Okay. Just a minute. Just choosing one right now. Okay. That's not it. Alright. Okay. Don't want to trim it. Sure, I have a good idea for this. Alright, now I'm downloading it. Okay. Alright, now I'm about to put it into the scene. Under this folder. Look up scene. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to refresh. Alright, there it is. So there's the animation, or pose. It is animated, just at first, I'm not going to really add much movement to it. So we'll need to switch this out. So don't think the textures are extracted, so we'll need to do that really quick. So I'll go here, materials, extract. Well, actually I do have already have them, so I don't need to do that. I just decided to set to 5 originally. Now just to make sure if I could set it right. Alright. Wait, this is it right here, this folder. Materials. Oh, there's no materials folder. Alright. Now go and select the parts we want. It's a bit hard to see, so I'm going to adjust the lighting. There we go. Let's see. They're all textures though. I can try it. Yeah, that creates new materials, which is what we don't want. So I'm just going to try to find where it was originally stored at. Should be somewhere close in here, but definitely not that. Where the old ones are at. Yeah, because there is no materials in all of these folders. But there is materials placed on, yeah, there's some. Like for that. Maybe that's for the other one. New default. Yeah, these are all the old ones. It's right here somewhere. Okay. Oh, I was writing that for her. Is that the old texture or the new one? It's shiny. Alright, let's see. I'm just gonna extract it really quick. Yeah, I know what those are. It's in here. But there's no two of them. Actually, I do have a scene where it is stored at. So I'm gonna check that first. First two, I think. And then it would tell me where it's at, because I can select it. Okay, here it is. Is this incorrect? Alright, there we go. It's somewhere around here. Yep, there it is. You can see the textures are there. So now, I'm just gonna see where it's at. It uses base color, like where it's stored at. But it's Terry shaders. So it's a local material, basically. Which means that it's attached to the character and not outside of it. So I just need to change the textures that I already have due to extraction. So now I'm gonna go back to here and then extract the materials, not the textures. And then just, yeah, extract it here. Or we could have just done, well, no we can't. Alright, there we go. Not uses that. Okay. Alright. Alright. So the materials right here. Okay. That is still one. And the new one is right here. Should be here. Okay. Alright. Alright, that's the wrong shininess. Alright. Just too much smoothness. So if it's not transparent, right? Then right here. Oh, okay. There we go. We got it. Got what we needed. So, yeah, those pants are too shiny. So you're gonna need to change the smoothness for that. Alright, there we go. Got it. To fix this part. Or we can just set it. There we go. Then smoothness all the way down. Or we can just add just a little bit, but not much. Or not too much. That would work for the most part. Now we just adjust it outside of the camera. right here. Okay. Disable all this. Alright. I'm just going to see what it looks like with the camera angling down. Something just looks a little odd about it, but like it needs a little bit of movement. Oh, wait, does it actually have it? No, that was just the red body messing up. Maybe just a little bigger, because the grid was too small, I think. You can probably add the visual effects over it as well, and then he would just appear. Kind of like what the grid did, because it kind of matches up with it. Makes it look cool, instead of him just being there. So I think the size is right, but there's no movement. There is no runtime. I do have the animation stored. Just have to apply it, pretty much. Okay. That's pretty much him just getting up though, which would happen at a certain point at this transition. So what I'm going to do, just pretty much create a new visual effect. Alright, so it looks like it has a good transition to it. So it's not just him being there like he's dead. Okay. I'll be right back in just 2 seconds. Alright, so let's get this done. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to edit this part. Alright, it's going to need a more better name for it. Himself or something. Alright. I think it's opened up. Yeah, it is. Now I'm going to switch to cameras. Alright. Put all this, create a new surround particle. Wondering if that would work. Hold on, let's show you. So this, when you see him, and then after a little seconds, it would fade out like this. And then maybe you can add more to that, like him not being there yet. So just don't need to change the color. have the gradient. So I'm just gonna set this to something different. After it's seen, there we go. Set one of these to more relevant blue, red, dark blue. Yep. Or now we can go light. And this would just be that. There we go. So that's part of it. And now we can create another one for him, which would use his model. So let me just see here. Just gonna create another one. Visual effect, I mean. Alright. So now I'm gonna open this up. Drag it in. Right here. There we go. Outside, so that it can just transition between the model. There we go. Now it's opening up. Back to the effects. Do this once again. Systems, form particles. And now this is when we create it for the model. So set crowd output. Well, we will still have this just outside, and then this. We still have that, but this would lead to point output. Okay, and after that, I'm gonna have it right here for point out. Well, not point output. Oh, no, I don't need that. Let's fix that up. Point cache utility. Oh yeah, we need under initialize, I believe, to set the position map. Or position map. I have these. There we go. Bye, see you later. I will. Alright. So now, I'm going to set this to. Oh, wait, I didn't create a point cache yet. But anyway. Scene editor right here. Editor. Oh, we don't need animator, we just need bash. Now we just need to find a model right here. Except there's many parts to it. You can't just drag that in. Which means I'm gonna need to figure out a better way to do this. Because there is just, yeah, there's not just one model. Alright. I think I might have one already in here. Just an FBX file without any animations. I just need to find it. It's somewhere around here. Stand right now. Tests. I think this is pretty much all we need. Then I can just change the other parts later. Well, actually, we can just do it through here, right? I think we could. Alright, so I'm gonna need to find that. It should be. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna copy it. Can't show it in Explorer because technically, well, actually, it could. I'm just gonna copy it in the same place where Stan was. Or not Stan, but, breakup scene. There it is, test. So now I'm gonna go back to the breakup scene, go refresh. Alright, there it is. Now, okay, now we got that. Now we just have to adjust it a little bit. I mean, this part, I mean, it's bad it's not T-posing. There is no way to change it from here. I do know that they have an editor. Maybe from the rig. Could just set it to a different model. Or a different part for the animation, maybe. Just need to find its editor. Because I don't think you can just use a prefab for it. Okay. Here. Doesn't look like it. Oh, we could. Except there is no rigging. Oh, yeah, that's right. Can't change it. So I guess we just have to download a different one. Unless we just, because we actually, okay. So that works. Project. Alright. Back in here. Okay. Okay, there's one way to do this. So I'm just going to start from here. Oh, that doesn't work because it's not like a different type of mesh. Okay. Guess this would just have to do for now. Just put it right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back. To what we need. Yep, here. Edit. Now I'm gonna switch to cameras. Alright. Point cache would be set to body now. Oh yeah, we need to color it as well. Set color from that. Okay. Re-export. Because there's one more point that I need for this. Alright. Let's see here. Oh, you have to refresh or restart. It's a different type of refresh. Oh, there's two of them now. Okay. Well, it's this one. That's the one I need. Okay, I'm gonna see what it looks like now. Is it too big? Yeah, it's too big. Okay. I'm just gonna set the size. Got that show it. okay. Just a little more. Okay. There it is. Now I'm going to show it. Alright. So circulate the body. It's going to flip it in the right direction. Above, just for now. Okay. Disable this. Now we're going to change this intensity so that's not too much. Okay. That's better. Just a little more adjustments. Intensity. There we go. So just want a little bit more intensity. Alright, that's better. But the color can change to here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we're going to add it to that other effect that I have here somewhere. To this. No. Where's it at? It's one of these effects. I just get it from the name. Gameplay elements connection, and then let's see. Not sure I saved it in here or not. The visual effect, I mean. It's called himself. Also got removed from here. Or unless I edited it. So it should be here. Not all the way down there though, but I mean like up here. Over the body. Okay. Then I have to adjust this. Okay, it needs to be a little bigger though. Like that. Alright. It's good for the most part. Okay, that should do it. So now that's what it would look like. So now we got that in the bottom. Which is fine, because we could just add this to the networking. Done. The new effects would also be in the same thing. Right here. Right. Now we can see what it looks like. See if it's too high up. And if it is, we can just adjust it. Now, alright, so we hit it in, yep. Alright, and it looks pretty good. Except of course I'm gonna edit it, or change it off stream. A little more production. And I'll fix it up so I don't have to rush through it. But kind of got it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Or pretty much it for what I'm going to do. Since I got work tomorrow, I'll have to wake up early. And yeah, I could start live streaming tomorrow after I edit some stuff with it, so that we get a good start. But I think it turned out pretty good for what it is right now. So yeah, let's call it quits here. Since we're on live streaming for like 2.5 hours right now. But yep, hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. People can actually learn from this. And yeah, I'm gonna end it here. See you guys soon.